Girl, 3, stabbed to death at her own birthday party in Idaho. These are the first pictures of the 3-year-old girl who died after being stabbed at her own birthday party in Boise, Idaho on Saturday. Ruya Kadir, who arrived in the U.S. from Ethiopia with her mother 2 years ago, had been celebrating her 3rd birthday, complete with a pink doll-shaped cake, when a man armed with the large knife attacked. Ruya and 5 other children aged from 4 to 12 were badly injured, along with the 3 adults who tried to protect them. Timmy Keener, 30, a man who had briefly been a guest at the apartment complex where Ruya lived, has been charged with first-degree murder and several other felonies in connection with the attack. Ruya Kadir, who left her home country and husband to give their child a better future, is now left mourning her little girl, slain in the very community that was supposed to keep her safe. "I remember Ruya when she was just a little bundle in my arms," said Megan Schwab, an employment specialist with the International Rescue Committee who met mother and child when they first arrived in Boise as Ethiopian refugees in December 2015. "It was a very long journey, not something she talks about a lot, but I do know she was fleeing violence," Schwab said. "She was alone with her little baby and very strong. She had a lot of resolve to protect her baby and create a new life for them." When Schwab realized Ruya had virtually no baby gear in her 1-bedroom apartment, she found them hand-me-down furnishings and clothes. Ruya's home was always a monument to Ruya, full of things the child loved, Schwab said. "She loved shopping and dressing up very fashionably just like her mother," she said. Disney princesses were her favorite, and anything at all that was pink. On Monday morning, Schwab saw Ruya and Ruya again, this time in a Salt Lake City hospital. She and other close friends were there to say goodbye to their sparkling little girl. "I will say I was very privileged to be able to be there," Schwab said, her eyes filling with tears. "Her mom is very strong and the community really surrounded her to help her move through those last moments and help her begin the stages of grief." 3 of the stabbing victims were adults, the others children: little Ruya, 4-year-olds, a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old injured. Keener is American, and the victims are members of refugee families from Syria, Iraq and Ethiopia. Boise Police Chief William Bones said the evidence does not suggest the attack was a hate crime. The suspect had recently stayed at the apartment complex but was asked to leave Friday over bad behavior, Bones said. Police believe Keener may have been trying to get revenge for being asked to leave the apartment complex. He returned the next evening and began attacking people, police said. 1 other child injured in the attack has since been released from the hospital, but some of the remaining 7 victims face long roads to recovery, said Julian Donnelly-Tzull, the executive director of the IRC of Boise. "I can't identify who got what," Donnelly-Tzull said. "But there are slashes to faces requiring surgery and reconstructive surgery. There is at least 1 spinal injury that might cause paralysis to some degree, and lots of stab and puncture wounds." On Monday evening around 1,500 people attended a vigil for those injured in the stabbing incident. People wept, sang and shouted their support for the refugee community, and many brought bouquets of white flowers intended to symbolize peace. By the end of the rally, hundreds of bouquets filled dozens of baskets on the steps of Boise's City Hall.